Libra Risings November 2020 is a breaking point in relationship, and I think you know that what I'm talking about, and the way that it ties in other consequences as well, like monetary investments and other areas of your life that depend on your harmony. If you are excited to dive into what the month of November holds in store for you, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you are always up to date with what the stars have in store for you. This video is also brought to you by my very own Astrology Academy, which is my foundational astrology course. This course is a comprehensive deep dive into the foundations of Western astrology. This includes history, philosophy, technical concepts, counseling considerations, and a step-by-step guide to reading a chart. I am so proud to finally be releasing this and have this open for enrollment for you all. I've already had several students run through and complete it in the past several weeks, and it's been a real joy to see people go from confused or misinformed into reading charts and going on this path informed and confident. So if you were interested in that, check that out down below. As well, I have free hour-long webinars that get you to start learning astrology if you're dipping your toe in or unsure about what astrology even means. Check out those free webinars down below. Everything is in the description. And if you have not already seen the November collective forecast that will be going out shortly after these, you can check that out and it will be linked down below as soon as it is ready. So if you are seeing this, maybe the November forecast is already out, the video will be down below. I always release it like a day or two after these individual forecasts. So if it's not out and you're here early, check back and check out the entire month of November ahead for the collective. Hi, I'm Maren. I am a professional astrologer, author, and philosophy student. I combine traditional Hellenistic astrological techniques with modern psychological counseling dynamics in order to provide grounded guidance. So on the first, we have the Sun in your Scorpio 2nd house opposing Uranus in your Taurus 8th house. There's some unexpected or shocking dynamics happening in your shared financial world that you are not too pleased about, that you are trying to stay firm and steady and honest in the way that you're navigating your finances, and it's like a partner or even some investments are going haywire and you're like, no. And then also on the 1st through the 7th, we have Mercury retrograde in your Libra 1st house, squaring Saturn in your Capricorn 4th house. So there's a full video on this Mercury retrograde like survival guide down below if you want to know how to navigate it, which I would recommend because it's in your 1st house of self. But this is you trying to keep the peace, communicate effectively, hold firm, and your family really challenging that there's a tough crowd in the home and family part of your life, and you're trying to keep the peace, say what needs to be said, and it's not showing up very well. On the 6th to the 19th, we have Jupiter conjunct Pluto in Capricorn in your 4th house. This is nothing new, but it is very notable, the final crisis in your home and family life. That is nothing new, but it is like the pimple on top of the boil that is popping, that no longer can this go on any longer about the expansion of crisis or upheaval in your family, that there's a final straw here. On the 9th, Venus in your Libra 1st house is opposing Mars in your Aries 7th house. This is the big time kind of dynamic where you are trying to be as harmonious and as people-pleasing honestly as you can. There's some energy here about you like trying to hold it together and maybe not being upfront or honest, but like at least you're trying to keep it nice. And that's opposing a partner that is like really causing trouble, that is really going back on their word or going back to old actions or just raising trouble. And there's a full video on the Mars and Aries transit that I'll link down below that you might want to watch because it applies to your 7th house of relationships. And like you're just trying to hang in there and your family is on one side of you and your partner's on the other side and you're like, what do I do? That's kind of the energy for Libra Risings this month. Sorry guys. On the 15th, there's a new moon in your Scorpio 2nd house. I have a full video on this new moon down below. This is a new beginning that is pretty paranoid and intense in your 2nd house of finances. So I would watch that video to make sure that you are aware of the energies before you jump into something that might not be realistic or aligned with like what you might be fearful, or you might be excited about something that isn't really there. So with the financial activations this month, be careful, but it is an opportune time for a new plan in that area of your life. On the 15th through the 19th, Venus in your Libra 1st house is squaring Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn in your Capricorn 4th house. Yeah, by the end of the month, things are picking up in this final tension that you are at a breaking point between trying to hold it together amidst family eruption, and you're like, is this worth me keeping the peace, or do I need to leave? That there might be some of you who are moving out from your family, who are moving because of the people that you're living with just being unable to like understand where you're coming from, or you yourself are moving like property and it's been an ordeal and you're finally moving into the property, or like letting go of a building that you're creating in that sort of way. On the 21st, we then have the sun entering your Sagittarius third house. So the sun is entering your third house of communication and siblings and short-term travel. So day-to-day errands will be more important in the weeks to come in Sagittarius season. And on the 21st as well, we have Venus entering your Scorpio second house. Venus, the planet of harmony, entering your second house of finances, but it is an intense position. So there's an increased focus on what is important financially for you and like what truth needs to be spoken about. But it does indicate that it's a good time financially, that like you're going after things. It's just a bit erratic, especially on the 27th. Uranus in Taurus in your 8th house opposes Venus in your Scorpio second house. That there's still this erratic or unhinged dynamic between your shared finances and what you're trying to hold steady about. So it may take either changing up your investment portfolio or getting clear on what a partner is doing with your money to be more egalitarian with how you're trying to allocate your finances. On the 30th, there's then a lunar eclipse in your Gemini 9th house. There's a full video on this first eclipse of this season down below that you probably want to watch, because this is around a 6-month reshifting of very forward propulsion movement in your 9th house of higher education and foreign travel. You might be considering getting up and leaving like foreign. Like you might be like, I'm gonna get up and boot. And this is a good transit for that kind of, you're gonna be taken there, but it's like you're gonna go. Or it could be like, I'm going to commit to this new education path and I'm going like all in, like balls deep on this new. How are you expecting this November to show up in your life? If you already know about some possible events, tell me in a comment down below. I would be interested to hear. So let's pull a tarot card to see what is coming up for Libra Risings for this month. We have the Two of Swords. This is actually a card associated with the first decan of Libra. I have my moon here. I know this card really well because this is a card, the person is holding swords and they're blindfolded. This is one of my favorite cards because it's kind of ironic. It's very stereotypical Libra. It is keeping the mouth closed, the eyes closed, holding the peace, completely avoiding the elephant in the room, but like holding it right there. And like everyone is like, do you not see the elephant? And you're like, I'm, just gonna keep quiet. That's what's going on. And it might be around you playing that role because you're gonna get up and leave. Like you're not gonna start any more drama. You're just gonna exit the first chance you get. Now let's pull an Amio card. This is a card from an astrology deck that I have. It's a new deck I got that as a gift that is astrology cards. So let's see what comes up. We have Novile, reconsider, question, research of wisdom, quest of truth. So Novile is a 40-degree angle that I don't work with because it's not an aspect, it's an aversion, but it's an alignment that can be seen as reconsidering and questioning things. And I think that this month you are reconsidering things, you are questioning things, and not in like this like, I'm learning things, but in a thing of like, I am rethinking the roots of my life. Like, do I need to get up and leave because the relationships are not supporting me? If you did enjoy this and you would like to check out the Astrology Academy or any of my other course offerings, everything will be down below. As well, leave me a comment telling me what you're expecting and what you're excited about this month for you for November. Otherwise, like, subscribe, do all the things. Sending so much love, and I will see you in the next one.
But there is one thing you're awful